This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, State Senator John Udijak discusses the state Supreme Court's ruling on the use of gaming money in the Commonwealth. Good evening and thank you for joining us at FYI. I'm Ken Kara. Let's get right to our local information from FYI and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. A program that provided major funding for many projects in our area has been struck down by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. The state Supreme Court ruled last week that the formula used by casinos to contribute to local governments is unequal. State Senator John Udijak reacted to the news about what is known as the Local Share Account, or LSA grants.
Well, we have serious concerns about the recent Supreme Court decision that made the local share assessment, the local tax for the county and for the host community, unconstitutional. What does that mean? That means for Luzerne County, we can lose anywhere from $6 to $7 million that is annually driven out to our municipalities for economic development projects, infrastructure projects, public safety projects. That can be devastating to our municipalities, particularly to Plains Township. The host community gets close to $3 million, $2.5 to $3 million. If that goes away, all the services, all the municipal services that they provide to the casino as a host community would be very difficult, if not impossible. It would be an undue burden on their taxpayers and the taxpayers of Luzerne County to meet those obligations. So while I have concerns, I understand the Supreme Court decision. I appreciate that they gave us 120 days to rectify the law, to make it constitutional. I'm going to work very closely, Republican and Democrat, to make sure that we get the law correct and that we keep that money, close to $12 million coming into Luzerne County and $2.5 million into Plains Town. We have to make sure that stays in our county.
What are some projects right here that people would be familiar with that were paid for because of these?
Well, you have the economic development that's going on in Broad Street, the investment in terms of bringing jobs to downtown Hazleton, many Hazel Township, investments that we've made in Hazel Township, the investment we made in the SHINE program that's here in the Hazleton Area School District, and in the city itself in terms of public safety vehicles, other investments that we've made across a whole spectrum of very good municipal service projects.
Senator Udijak will be a guest on a brand new Sam Lassand show that premieres tonight at 9 p.m. on SSPTV. The state of Pennsylvania is back in the spotlight for the presidential race. We told you yesterday that Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump will make another stop in Luzerne County on Monday. Republican Congressman Lou Barletta talks about the Keystone State's role in electing the next president.
Donald Trump's coming back. We have a debate on Sunday. And the very first place he's going after the debate, he's coming to back to northeastern Pennsylvania. So, you know, again, it's an indication of how important Pennsylvania is and what he thinks about northeastern Pennsylvania, that he's making so many trips back to the area. So, I think he'll do great in the debate, and it'll be a very exciting night at the arena when Donald Trump comes back to northeastern PA.
Trump will hold a campaign event at 6 p.m. Monday at Mohegan Sun Arena at Casey Plaza in Wilkes-Barre Township, the same place he visited in April. Doors will open at 3 p.m. You can get tickets at donaldjtrump.com. Hillary Clinton has not visited Luzerne County. She and Vice President Joe Biden made a campaign stop in Scranton back in April. The latest Franklin and Marshall College poll shows Clinton with a 9-point lead in Pennsylvania, while Quinnipiac University has Clinton with a 4-point lead over Trump in Pennsylvania. Volunteers from our area headed south today to help those expected to be impacted by Hurricane Matthew. 2 American Red Cross emergency response vehicles left this morning for South Carolina, one from the Stroudsburg office and another from Wilkes-Barre. The vehicles will be used to distribute relief supplies and meals. The growth continues at one mall in our area. Yesterday, ribbon cuttings were held for the 3 newest additions to the Laurel Mall in Hazel Township. We talked with Business Operations Manager Rocco Aruzzo.
Batfitters was here about 3 years ago, and then unfortunately they left. We're glad to bring them back, and I'll tell you, not only do they bring traffic, they not only remodel your bathroom, they now can do your kitchen, they can do a lot of things for your home. So we're excited to have Batfitters. Ravello Insurance This is unique because I'm going to tell you, John Ravello and his staff is selling all types of insurance, from auto, home, fire, you name it, for the elderly, health insurance. So they're going to cover it all. So that is why we're excited to have them here, because they're not just a one-stop insurance agency, they're multiples.
And talk about the Beam game. Why are you excited about the Beam game?
The Beam game, the Laurel Mall is actually the first mall in the country that's going to have this Beam game. It's an interactive game for children. They play it actually on the floor. Parents can come with their children. They swipe their debit card or credit card. It costs $1. And there's games from sports games to preschool games to interactive games. It's a good exercise for the children because they're doing it on the floor and not on their iPad or their iPhones. So this is something new, innovative, and the Laurel Mall is excited to have it.
I want to play that thing. For a complete directory of the Laurel Mall stores, go to their website, thelaurelmall.com, or check them out on Facebook. Coming up on FYI, it's Wednesday, so that means Dennis Gantz has a hunting segment for us, and Dave Seaman from the Standard Speaker Sports Department is here for some commentary. And after this break, we get an in-depth preview of Community Day coming up at Penn State Hazleton.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Good shot, Patty.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, folks, welcome to this week's Wild About Hunting segment. We're up here at the Hazleton Archery Club, and I am joined by a good friend of mine, Patty Sims, with Babes with Bows, pro staff member. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you
doing?
Good.
Good. We want to talk to you a little bit today about the organization Babes with Bows. Patty is a proud member of the team, and it's actually originated from California.
Yes.
With the owner, Michelle Krevlin.
Correct.
Patty's all the way over here representing on the East Coast, and we're fortunate enough to have her joining us here at the Hazleton Archery Club as one of our members.
Yes.
And Babes with Bows is a proud partner with Wild About Hunting. So, Patty, tell me a little bit about what Babes with Bows is so the folks can understand the whole organization.
Sure. Thanks for having me today. Babes with Bows is out of Madera, California. Michelle Krevlin started it back in October of 2012. She started out designing t-shirts for women who are passionate about archery. Since then, it has grown tremendously. She's bringing on more products as we speak, updating her website. And she wants to clothe women in proper clothing for not only hunting, but 3D events, indoor, outdoor competitions, youth, infants. She has clothing for infants as well, of course, not competing.
Awesome. She has a daughter that shoots and
Yes.
competes a lot. I see through their social media, they travel a
Yes.
lot, they do a lot of competition and stuff, and she's a big a supporter of archery as a sport, but specifically trying to get more and more ladies and children and young girls involved in the sport.
Yes, absolutely. Riley, her daughter, has been competing in JOAD. It's the Junior Olympic archery, and they do a lot of the profits from Babes with Bows goes towards organizations. One being juniors. She tries to get the schools sponsored to archery, which is great.
Awesome.
Yeah, so she just really wants to give all the women a chance to get out there and hunt or compete or just backyard fun.
Now, if someone wants to get in touch with Michelle or even yourself with Babes with Bows to maybe try and help with promoting archery for the youth, especially the young ladies and women, how can they do that? Who should they reach out to?
Anybody can go on the website, bwbarchery.com. We have Facebook pages. So there is Babes with Bows Facebook. There's my Facebook, Patty Sims, Babes with Bows. The response time is very quick.
Yeah,
So,
I will say that. They're very good at getting back.
very quick.
We've been communicating with Michelle quite a bit over the last several weeks. We're excited to have Babes with Bows as a partner here with Wild About Hunting. And because we're both with the Hazelton Archery Club here, we're going to be brainstorming. We've got some things we're probably going to be planning, hopefully for next year, that we can introduce with in conjunction with Babes with Bows and Wild Bow Hunting here at the club. So it's awesome.
Yes, it's great. It's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, and we're excited to have Patty here. You may even find Patty on one of the season episodes if we can get her in front of one of our cameras here and she's not too jittery. But hey, folks, check out Babes with Bows, social media, the website. You heard the information from Patty here. Thanks for joining me today.
Very welcome.
Watch for us coming up in the future, and we'll see you next week somewhere in the hunting woods.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
Another shot looking straight up in downtown Hazelton for our weather shot today. Check out that blue sky. Here's our local weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, clear with a low around 48 degrees. We'll have a light southeast wind. Thursday is sunny with a high in the upper 60s, calm wind. Thursday night, clear with a low of 48 degrees. Friday, sunny with a high near 67 degrees. And then on Friday night, we'll get down to 52. We do have a 20% chance of some rain. Saturday, 40% chance of showers. Partly sunny day, high in the lower 60s. Saturday night, 40% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, low of 47. On Sunday, mostly sunny skies with high in the mid 50s. And then Sunday night will drop into the low 40s under mostly clear skies.
I am pleased to be here at Penn State Hazelton campus in the beautiful Harlem Lounge at the Pasco Shivo Administration Building, talking with my good friend Gordon Bigelow, who is the incoming president for the Penn State Hazelton Council and a member of the committee working on Community Day 2016. A lot of great things. It's quickly approaching, Gordon, so are we ready?
Yes, we are, and the council has done an excellent job, and we have a tremendous number of volunteers. And it is October 16th. It is an opportunity for members of this community to come out and see what Penn State has to offer. And we do draw a significant number of students from the immediate general area of Greater Hazelton. And for those people who are thinking that a Penn State education may be for them, as certainly it is one of the most recognizable names in the world today. When you know Penn State and you go to Europe and Asia, they know what Penn State is and they know what a Penn State education brings to the table. But we do have a lot of events. There will be campus tours for those who may not have been on campus before. There will be obviously the Penn State bookstore, which is a wonderful place to spend a little bit of time. Will be open.
Memorabilia.
There is a chef demonstration, and there will be an artwork raffle. One of the instructors from the Next Picasso, which is a great studio in the Sugarloaf Valley, has some items that will be auctioned off.
A painting of the Nittany Lion right out in front of this building, so that's
And there
something
will
that all
be-
Penn
yeah.
Staters are going to want, including myself.
And I think the Nittany Lion that we have out here is 2/3 the size of the Nittany Lion at University Park. And obviously, it is one of the most popular places for people to stop and have a photo taken.
That's true.
So we do encourage that. There will be various activities. We have coming in the Paws Ability Assist Dogs, which is always a great program. We have the Pocono Greyhound Adoption Organization from the Stroudsburg area. There will be a Master Gardener exhibit. The Art League is participating in this community again as they had before. They will have some of their work exhibited, as well as they're undertaking the Make It and Take It station for kids, which is a lot of fun. I'm not quite sure what they'll be making, but they do get to take it home. It's a surprise. There are nature walks, if I hadn't already indicated, and Dr. Frankel, Carl Frankel, will be heading up the nature walks. We're also, I believe, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the dedication of the Bella Vista Overlook, the renovations of the wonderful overlook halfway up the campus drive. And finally, we're going to have an exhibit on the Disability Awareness Week, and the wonderful ROTC Air Force group will be here to sing a cappella for us.
That's going to be fabulous. It's all happening on October 16th from 1 until 4 p.m. right here at Penn State Hazleton. There will be free creamery ice cream cones, so come on out for that as well. And also, don't forget, you're going to get your picture taken with the Nittany Lion when you're here too. So there's a lot happening, but we want to see everyone come out for Penn State Community Day 2016. Check it out online and get all the details.
Thanks, Lisa. Here's your midday winning lottery numbers on FYI. Pick 279, pick 3601, pick 45198, and pick 594165. When we come back, Dave Seaman is here. We'll talk about postseason baseball plus some local golf and Nittany Lion football. We'll be right back.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
We have a bunch of local golfers heading to district tournaments. Dave Seaman is here for another Dave Day from the Standard Speaker. He's the sports editor, Dave, and let's put the names up on the screen. Going to the District 2 tournament, the AA tournament from MMI, George Palermo was second at the pre-district tournament. Morgan Long, Eric Dagenhart, and Doug Giannetti will be there as well. Jessica McClellan, lowest score of all the girls at the tournament. She will advance for MMI. I hit a few balls with the MMI team, Dave, earlier this year. That will be on out of left field in November. As far as Hazleton area, 3A for District 2, sophomore Brady Antolik, senior Frank Sirach, and sophomore Jordan Pick. John Provost, Dave, I talked with him last year, I believe, used to do the United States Golf Little League, might still do the United States Golf Little League, but he's been with some of these Hazleton area kids as they've come up, and he's been excited about the youngsters. And it's that time of year. You never know with the weather. You know, you just got to stay focused out there because you might get your chance at the district tournament. How much do you think the USGLL maybe has helped that Hazleton area program? I mean, anytime you have a feeder program, I guess it's good, but that really boomed. They got a lot of numbers very quick there.
I agree. I think that's been a very big advantage for golfers in our area. John Provost, they do a great job in getting those kids used to playing on a golf course at a very young age too. And it's not only the Hazleton area kids, the MMI kids too have been involved with that program. A lot of these kids have been golfing a long time, and it showed. And when you get a chance to prove yourself against the best in the district, some of the skills that you might have learned at the USGLL level, they might be paying off now.
Dave, I've been golfing a long time too, and it does not show. Very, very bad golfer. Let's talk about the Cubs. Dave, I know you're a Dodgers fan, but even sitting there as a Dodgers fan who watched them throughout the year, is there a force that could stop these Cubs? Could your Dodgers do it? Could someone in the NL do it? How realistic is that?
Well, the thing is now everybody's 0-0. So, I mean, for how great the Cubs were during the regular season, they still have to prove it in the postseason. But they embrace that. Joe Maddon has told us on numerous occasions when we had a chance to interview him that they're embracing the target. They know the bullseye is squarely on their back after being swept by the Mets last year, knowing a lot of those players were coming back, and they added some pieces like Ben Zobrist and Jason Hayward this year. The Cubs are the favorite, but that's why they play the games. It's not the team that is favored usually doesn't win. So the Cubs fans and Joe Maddon fans are hoping that's not the case this year, because definitely they have the team to do it, not only this year but for the foreseeable future, although their focus is on 2016 right now.
Really quick, would you say there's talent in the NL to beat the Cubs, or is it just let's hope we get the Cubs on a bad day?
Well, it depends who depends who wins that first game. The Mets have proven that they could beat the Cubs. They swept them last year in the playoffs. Granted, they don't have the pitching that they had last year. The Mets aren't going to be fearful of the Cubs. And if you have to remember during the season, too, back in June, Mets swept the Cubs in a 4-game series at Citi Field. So the Mets aren't going to fear them. The Giants have all the experience in the world if they happen to beat the Mets. You have the Giants playing against them. Madison Bumgarner's a big-time pitcher. Johnny Cueto's pitched in big games, too, before with Jeff Samardzija on the staff, and Matt Morris pitched in playoff games when he was at Tampa. So the Giants aren't going to be they aren't going to back down from the Cubs' challenge, and it is only a 5-game series. So you split the first 2 in Chicago, then you go to San Francisco or New York for games 3 and 4. Anything can happen.
Dave, let's go locally really quick. High school football. North Schuylkill topping our Cole Scale rankings now. Dave, they're hot. They beat a very good Lehighton team. And it's that defense, pitching shutouts left and right. They could be a force, and might have a say, might even have a chance at winning that very tough Division I Schuylkill League.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but North Schuylkill definitely, when they play defense like they did in the first 2 games and last game against Lehighton, Lehighton has a potent offense. North Schuylkill is able to shut them down, get the 1 touchdown, but when you play defense, you're not going to lose any games if you don't give up any points.
Dave, lastly, Penn State football, everyone's saying such a big game with Minnesota. A lot of people calling for James Franklin's head after the blowout loss to Michigan. Penn State gets the win in overtime. Now looking at maybe another must win. Every win's a big win right now for Penn State. Where are you at right now with all this? After Penn State got blown out by Michigan, they get the overtime win against Minnesota. Offense didn't look so impressive in the first half against the Golden Gophers.
Well, now it's another challenge. I mean, now you're going into a bye week against a Maryland team that's undefeated. Their offense has been high-powered so far. Penn State's defense is banged up, and it's going to get another challenge from the Terrapins this week. It's another big game. You want to go into the bye week at 4-2 because what waits after the bye week? Ohio State comes into Beaver Stadium. So another big game for Penn State, but if they could build off the momentum, they played very well in the second half, both on the offensive side with Trace McSorley leading the way, and then Saquon Barkley with an outstanding run to win the game in overtime. But the defense also made some clutch plays. If you're a Penn State fan, you hopefully get some of the injured players back and go into the bye with a win.
Yeah, Dave, I saw Saeed Black, now wide receiver, will be back for the game this weekend against Maryland. One thing I was very impressed with this whole Penn State team really has been resiliency. I know maybe not the Michigan game, but look at Saquon Barkley. He really got shut down in that game against Minnesota, and then he comes back and stays focused and gets the game-winning run there at the end. Really going to see what they do against Ohio State as far as James Franklin. That can they be competitive in a huge game against a big-time national opponent? We will see. Dave, thank you again for coming out this week. We'll see you again next week as we'll be in the thick of the Major League Baseball playoffs. You made it to the middle of the work week. Reward yourself at Bottlenecks. It's their featured steak entree night with plenty of amazing steak options.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, Holy Trinity Orthodox Church, 223 South Kennedy Drive in McAdoo will be having a pierogi and halushki sale Friday, October 7th from 10 a.m. to 5:30. Please call ahead to secure your order, 570-929-2179. And finally, the Tamaqua Area High School senior class will be hosting the second annual Suburban 5K and Fun Walk on Saturday, October 8th at 9 a.m. at the high school. Registration begins at 8 a.m. There will also be a Chinese auction, lots of snacks, and a bounce house, and all proceeds benefit two causes: the Thelma Urban Memorial Scholarship Fund and the Sean and Violet Urban Scholarship Fund. Hope to see you there. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Anthony M. Fiore of Hazleton. Mass is Monday at 9:30 a.m. in the Queen of Heaven Parish at Our Lady of Grace Church. Friends may call Monday from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. The Damiano Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. Melanie Pavlik Lafferty of Hazleton. Mass is Friday at 10 a.m. at the Good Shepherd Church. Friends may call Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Joseph B. Conahan Funeral Home. Richard Marion of Harwood. Services will be held privately and at the convenience of the family. Arrangements are by the Hillary J. Bonin Funeral Home. Joan Marie Stevens of Whitehaven. Private services were held under the direction of the Lehman Family Funeral Service. Howard T. Wendell, formerly of Hazleton. Funeral is Thursday at 9:30 a.m. from the M.J. Colucci and Son Niagara Funeral Chapel. Friends may call Wednesday from 6 to 9 p.m. And Carol E. Wycheck of Lily Lake. Celebration of Life will be held Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Slocum Township Fire Hall. Arrangements are by the George A. Strish Incorporated Funeral Home. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Emil Lusky of Hazleton. Emil, if you're watching, give us a call, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
The Beer and Brat Walk in downtown Hazleton is a few days away as part of First Friday. And at the shop, too, you can get peanuts, Cracker Jacks, and Goose Island beer. I heard they serve that at Wrigley Field, so make sure you're a part of it. DowntownHazleton.org for more information. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone.